Hi, welcome. On this video, I'd like to take just a minute to talk about what the relational changing script or picture looks like when you start to invest in this system. Because oftentimes people have a difficult time with that. They'll look at, the method and they'll say, well, how does my day look? Okay, with, bringing this method online. And this is the thing to understand. Once a dog has a level of control and power, you have to start to sever those connections. You have to start to, but not just sever them. This is the thing that people have to understand. It's not about, when you start to bring this method online, everything's different. Before, people would be in a situation where they're just controlling a problem. They're in a management situation. So they could be using crates, the leashes, certain ways. But that dog's in full control, and so really you're not, you're not going anywhere. You're just spinning in a hamster wheel. So when this system comes online, what happens is yes, you have perhaps a similar structure with how the crate is used, and then you have leashes and everything else happening, but it's totally different. You're not in a management situation anymore, because the leashes and the crates and everything is speaking different language. It's about change, and so you're totally using everything differently, and so therefore everything will fade away. But again, how the picture looks is that I'm all over that dog. I don't mean that bad, but I'm speaking that the scripting language in such a way that it's going to set up change. I'm in full control as leadership. And it's not in a bad way either. You're not being aggressive with your dog. You're totally getting that dog into the follower role. And so, therefore, for example, even it changes the context of the crate itself. Because, again, when, say, a crate's being used before, that dog's in control. And therefore, that crate to the dog is almost like meaningless. It doesn't have any, it's not being used as a way to gain advantage. Whereas when the script takes hold, that crate, everything takes on different meaning. So in fact, that dog will in fact kick up and not want to be in the crate, because that dog knows the real deal. It's like, well, Dale's like, he's taking over. And there's pressure, there's language there, and that dog is like, I don't want to be in here. Because the dog's in transition. But at the same time, you have to push through, because a dog's holding control and power is going to be very perhaps resistant. But you have to look at the thing of the stress loads on the dog already. The dog's already under a stress load, and you may not see those stress loads because the dog's in control, but you're going to have problems everywhere. But again, you have to be able to put things into context through right relationship and understand that this issue of the script itself, it's got to push through. The dog is not going to just come out of it, or just easily accept the fact that you're going from one role to another role, because that's how nature is. Nature's saying, okay, you gotta prove it. Okay, you gotta show me that you're the real deal. And so through this journey itself, this is where, by just staying true to the script and pushing through, everything changes. But again, how the picture looks like during the day, it's a lot of leash work with the dog. You can hang out with the dog, watching TV or whatever, but you got to be promoting right relationship through the script itself, through the techniques with the push-pull technique. Not just letting the dog free roam like before. You got to kind of quarter off where that dog's at, where you're at, so that script can be happening even off leash. These moments are taking hold, so it's having impact. And then after, once the motives clean up, then everything starts to expand out again. But at first, it's an issue about severing these connections, so the dog is not gaining control and power, being fulfilled that way. You have to start to change how everything looks. You have to start to break it down that way, and so that you can start to gain good momentum, and not just let that dog go out even letting the dog so-called play in the backyard, do certain things, understand the dog's in control. And so again, it'll look great. It can look like, but the dog is like fueling up. And so this is the thing. You cannot go by just how things look. This is why how you can tell if the dog is in control is the dog is in a certain situation, and then you let the dog go in there, and then you put the dog on that leash and start to assert influence again within the framework of what's reasonable. Okay, you start to apply reasonable influence to bring that dog out of the situation. Watch the response. If that dog goes into an elevated state and starts to challenge and starts to kick up, you got a problem. Okay, a dog that's in a follower state is going to accept what's reasonable. That's the thing that to key up on here when you're putting putting the motives of the dog to the test, is how the dog responds within the context of what's reasonable. But again, don't buy into what people say. It's you might get a very unreasonable reaction. People assume, oh, you're hurting the dog. Absolutely not. You have to look at it and say, is what I'm doing reasonable? Yes or no. Don't just look at the unreasonable reaction of the dog and make assumptions that well, that must mean that what I'm doing is unreasonable. No, it's the fact the dog's got control and the motives are rotten. Okay, the dog is saying, no, there's no way he's taking me out of the situation because I'm in control. So anyway, just something to think about. The picture is such that it's about change. It's about the script coming online in a way that is meaningful. It's got to hold true. There's got to be integrity in it. And, every day is about making steps in that direction. It's a journey. So if you have any questions about the system, feel free to contact me. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions.